What up, peeps? Welcome to another pickup video. Make sure you grab a snack, grab a drink. This one is probably going to be a little bit long, maybe not as long as some of the previous videos. I don't expect this one to be an hour, but there is a lot to go through, and I'm going to try to do these pickup videos a little bit more often. I asked you guys in the last one if you prefer the really long videos that are like an hour plus, or if you prefer the ones that are like 30 to 40 minutes, and it seems like most of the people that answered prefer the shorter ones because they will come out more often. So you might get 1 to 2 a month instead of one every 2 or 3 months. So let's get started. First up, I have 2 rental cases here, which is really cool. I only had one in the collection previously, which was a Nintendo 64 one. So now we are adding a Virtual Boy rental case. If you guys don't know what these are, you used to be able to rent consoles back in the day from Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, maybe some other places, and they would come in a case like this. So it holds the console, controller, cables, all that stuff. Usually it has a little bit of like instructions or something. Sometimes they have a foam insert like this one, and then sometimes they just have like a hard plastic molded insert. And obviously the plastic ones hold up a lot better. The foam ones deteriorate over time, so luckily that one's still good. The other one that I'm adding is a PlayStation 2 one, which is really cool because this is a very late one. You usually see them from the older era, so Super Nintendo, Virtual Boy, Nintendo 64, see like, you know, Genesis, there's like a Dreamcast one. PS2 seems a little bit late, but still really, really cool. There's the inside of that one. So really, really awesome additions to the collection. I just think that they're kind of cool, and it's not something that I'm like actively seeking out. These ones just happened to be traded into the store with consoles and stuff at some point. Another bigger item here is the Japanese exclusive silver slime controller for the PS2. This is really, really awesome. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it from the camera shot, but I have the blue one over on the other side of that cabinet. And the blue one came out in North America. The silver one, though, was exclusive to Japan, so had to get that. So now I have both of the different colors. Really, really awesome. I have the table going all the way over to here, and this is all the stuff I have to show you guys. I got a new statue or figure for the collection, and that is this Arceus one. This is from the Japanese Pokemon Center. Really, really, really cool. I absolutely love this. And Pokemon Legends Arceus is probably my #1 favorite Pokemon game of all time. I loved it on the Switch. It's in my like top 4 most played Switch games, I think. So had to get that. That is super cool. A bunch of these pieces, like I had to like put together basically all these like I don't even know what they are. These like spiny things. So really, really awesome. There's actually another statue that I'm trying to get that is a Palkia and Dialga one that's kind of similar to that. I think it's going to be like same size. So hopefully that comes in soon. Got a console here. Got the Zelda OLED Switch. Obviously had to get this. We have been very, very lucky at our store at Double Jump, and we've been able to get some more limited items from our distributors. This was one of them. This is the type of item that typically we would not be able to get. We couldn't get the Splatoon OLED switches. We couldn't get, you know, certain stuff. And with Tears of the Kingdom, luckily Nintendo pulled through and they sent some stuff to the distributors, because a lot of times the limited edition games and stuff like that, the smaller stores cannot get them because Nintendo will only sell them to Walmart, GameStop, Amazon, Target, Best Buy, places like that. And we buy from an official Nintendo distributor, but a lot of times they kind of get stiffed on that stuff. And so if they can't get it, we can't get it. But luckily, Nintendo is doing a little bit better with that kind of stuff. I do have some controllers to show you guys as well from various consoles here. So for the Nintendo Switch, I have the regular Pro Controller, the regular black one, but it comes with a Super Mario Odyssey download code. This is factory sealed, so the code inside is still brand new and unused. Obviously, Mario Odyssey is an incredible game, but this is a really cool variant that I have not seen before. I didn't know this existed until it got traded into the store. Someone traded in a large collection of accessories going back to the Wii, and this was part of it. Also, from that same collection, the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Pro Controller, which is super cool. I don't know if I have every Pro Controller at this point, but we're getting close. And then, of course, we got the Tears of the Kingdom one as well. And luckily, we were able to get a couple of those for the store, but literally only a couple. And then I got the Super Game Boy controller. This was exclusive to Japan, made by Hori. You guys know Hori, they make a bunch of awesome accessories. And this is specifically for the Super Game Boy on the Super Nintendo. So, very, very cool controller. And I wasn't expecting this to come with the box when we ordered it from Japan. I was just getting this to sell at the store. Came with the box though, so I had to add it to the collection. Super, super cool. And I believe the last controller, well, no, there's a couple more. I do have these little Joy-Con rails or whatever they're called. The Splatoon colors, the pink and green. These ones, I believe, did not get released in North America, like in their own packaging like that. And then these are really cool. So I have a Super Nintendo controller in my Nintendo glass case over here that is a certified, like, official Nintendo spare part kind of thing. It comes in a bag just like these, but I got a couple more things to add to that little mini collection. We have a refurbished RF switch. So it says Nintendo refurbished product up here, and you can see some information on the back. So this was pre-owned and then repackaged by Nintendo, and pretty cool. This was not very expensive. I think I got this on eBay for like 40 bucks or so, which is expensive for an RF switch, but for something like this that's very, very unique, I think that's a good price. I also picked up a Nintendo NES Dogbone controller, which is in the genuine spare part packaging here. So this is the same kind of packaging that I have the Super Nintendo controller in. So I just thought that was really, really cool. This one was a little bit more expensive. It was like 100 bucks or so, but still I think it's super cool. And then the last controller, very, very happy to add this one to the collection. And this is the Club Nintendo Luigi controller, which was exclusive to Japan. And I'll show you guys what the controller looks like. So it's got a cardboard insert and then the baggie here. And this is what the controller looks like. This is an official Nintendo-made controller. This is not like some aftermarket one. There's controllers that look just like this that were made during like the Wii U era they're like the PDP fight pads. They have the same color scheme. They don't have the same shape as the GameCube controller, but they do have that same exact color scheme with the, you know, the Luigi thing on it. But this is really, really cool. I already have the Mario one, and then there is also a Wario controller, and then there is a Club Nintendo exclusive Wavebird that's like a baby blue and white. Looks really, really awesome. So I definitely want to add those to the collection in the future, but very happy with those for now. I also got a Pokemon Animated Clip Buddy, which is a little like pocket watch kind of thing. So inside the box, it's got a little piece of foam. There's some paperwork, and then that is what it looks like. I already had one of these in the collection, but I did not have the box, and someone traded this into the store with the box, so I decided to swap mine out. So we have a loose one for sale at the store, and I'm keeping the one with the box there. Another item, which I decided to take one for the collection. We got these in at the store to sell, and this is a Mario basketball hoop. Now, the reason I decided to keep one is because this is to promote Mario hoops on the DS. So this is from 2006, and it's made by Square Enix, which is really weird. But I thought this was really cool. When we bought these from Japan, like I said, to sell at our store, and I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like an official Mario-themed little toy basketball hoop. That'll be cool. We'll sell them. I think they're like 10, 15 bucks. They're not very expensive. But I was like, oh, you know, whatever. But then when I got it, I was like, oh, this is from 2006. I thought that this was like a current product. I thought it was going to be like 2023. So I decided to keep one of them because we had like 5, I think. So I just thought it was kind of cool, and maybe I can get one set up here in the room at some point. Probably shouldn't be throwing little basketballs around in here though. There's too many fragile items. I did get some plushies as well. Oh, and one more thing, little Nintendo sticker pack here. We're gonna have these for sale at the store, but the quality is so bad. These are from Serbia. I bought one or two full boxes of them from Serbia, and the print quality on them is absolutely horrible. It's like one step above Game Boy printer quality. So we're gonna be selling the packs at the store. I think they're gonna be like $1. I just kept one because it has, you know, Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong on the front there. But everything, all the stickers inside are Super Nintendo themed. So a couple plushies here. Got a little Donkey Kong. Got this at like a little antique mall thing. Really cool. And then someone traded in a bunch of plushies, and I kept these ones. These are the original Pikmin plushies from the first game. So this is 2001. They all have their original tags still. And obviously in Pikmin 1, these are the 3 Pikmin. The other colors didn't get added until later. And I have been collecting Pikmin stuff, and I have a whole little army of tiny little Pikmin figures, which maybe I'll have Jesse insert a clip right here. And the last thing that I have to show you guys before I get into all the games is another watch, and this is a Donkey Kong 64 pocket watch. And there it is. It's so cool. I have another watch just like this that is an Ocarina of Time one, and somebody posted this in like a Facebook group, and they're local. It's somebody that I've done business with before, and they met me at the store, and I bought that. It was not super cheap. It also wasn't crazy expensive. It was like $200, I think, which sounds like a lot for a little watch, but they're very hard to find, and obviously it's Nintendo 64 related, so gotta get more stuff for my N64 collection since I don't have any other games to go after. So that's it for all of the accessories and the random stuff. Everything else I have to show you is either a game or a game box or a manual. So I just finished filming this entire video, looked over to my right and realized I had a couple more items sitting on the ground. So I'm asking Jesse to put this in somewhere in the middle of the video. So I have a couple more consoles here. We have some 3DSs. We have both of these Super Smash Brothers. One's the blue and the red. We already had these boxes, and we were kind of just like holding on to the boxes, knowing that if we find the console, it'll be a lot easier to complete them and a lot cheaper than to just buy complete copies. And Abby has some collection stuff in her game room, and then we have the rest in here. And she had a lot of 3DSs that did not have boxes, and we were going through everything and comparing, and we were actually able to complete these because we had the boxes already. She had the consoles that she had gotten separately somewhere. We were able to complete them, so now we have those complete for the collection. We also have the choose one Mario game Switch bundle here. So it's a regular console here. You get the red Joy-Cons, and you get to pick one of the 3 games to download. Cool box here. We got these in at the store and obviously had to keep one. I got something that I would have saved for the end of the video, but I already filmed it. I got a big box Super Nintendo game that is Lethal Enforcers. Very happy to get this because I think in the last video or one of the previous 2 videos I showed you guys the Justifier Player 2 gun, which is the pink one, which I picked up. And that goes with this, obviously, that's the Player 2 gun for this game, but I didn't have this one. So I got very lucky and found this at, I believe, Game Over Video Games in Tacoma, Washington. And price was good, condition was good. Very happy to add that one to the set. And lastly, for this little clip, I got another Super Nintendo console bundle. That is this one, and this is the one that comes with Mario World and Mario All-Stars, the little combo cart. That game only came in this bundle. So technically, if you want to get that game complete, you have to get this box because there is no actual box for the game. There's just the cartridge and the manual. Then this would be the box. So I got this from GameBound up in Washington, up north. Very happy to get this. I think that the price was fair, and it's in pretty good condition. It's got all the baggies and all that. So very happy to add another Super Nintendo console to the collection. With this one, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 Super Nintendos, one of those being the Model 2. Then I have the Super Famicom, and I have the Super Nintendo Classic. So there's a lot of them, but I love it. So we have Jammer Lammy. I was surprised I did not already have that one in the collection. We also have TRAG, Tactical Rescue Assault Group, Mission of Mercy. We have Professional Underground League of Pain. Got this one on mine and Abby's road trip to Spokane and Idaho. That video's up on the Double Jump channel if you want to check it out. We have My Disney Kitchen. And then lastly, for PS1, we have a long box game, and that is Silverload. This is one that I had never heard of before and saw it at a game store. Can't remember which one exactly, but had to add that to the collection, of course. And then we're gonna go NES. I only have 3 this time. Usually I have a lot more NES stuff, but first one was just a condition upgrade, and that is 10 Yard Fight. This one, as you can see, has the original plastic on the box. It's just cut open at the top. You guys know I love getting games like that, so that was a nice condition upgrade. We also have Fisher-Price Perfect Fit. Nothing too special. And we have Image Fight, which is kind of an uncommon one, so happy to add that to the collection. I only have one Wii game. Got this from a GameStop, and this is a double pack. It's Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy with a little slipcover, so it's both games in a cardboard sleeve thing here. Got this from GameStop, like I said. I think it was 20 bucks, but I'm pretty sure I used a coupon to get it cheaper. I think I had a $15 off, so I think this is like 5 bucks. Kind of cool. And then 2 Wii U games that I'm adding to the collection. First is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. This is the GameStop edition, and I have 3 versions of this game now. I have the standard one, I have the special edition, and now I have the GameStop edition. Pretty sure that's all of them that came out in North America, but happy to add that to the collection. I have a full Wii U set, so the only way I'm adding Wii U games to my collection is if I get a variant or something kind of like that, and that's kind of the same with this one. This is Zumba Fitness World Party, but this is the bundle version that comes with like a leg strap or something. I'm looking at all my Wii U games over here. So I had the regular game. I did not have the bundle version. At least... Actually, no, I do have one over there. I don't know. Oh, this one is open, so the one that I have must be factory sealed. So I think I mentioned it in one of the last couple pickup videos, but I have the entire Wii U set, but a lot of them are sealed and a lot of them are opened. My eventual goal is to have the full set opened, but I don't just want to go and open all these factory sealed games just to have them opened. That's kind of a waste. So what I'm trying to do is collect the full set factory sealed, get all the complete ones that I need, and then once I have that full sealed set, I will sell the entire sealed collection as one lot. So that was I guess a complete one to replace my sealed copy. Alright, I do have a couple loose cartridges here that are to go in boxes that I already had. First one, you're probably going to be pretty surprised that I didn't already have, but that is Pokemon Crystal. So I already had the box and manual, not sure why I didn't have a cartridge, but I do now. And then I have a not-for-resale 3DS game, Yokai Watch 2 Bony Spirits. So this is the demo version, and just did not have that one in the collection. Very, very cheap. I think you can pick this up on eBay for like $7 with free shipping. So if you want one, go get them. Then I actually only have a couple more consoles of stuff to show. I have Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. I have Super Nintendo, of course. I have Switch, and then I have DS and 3DS. So not a ton of variety this time, but obviously Super Nintendo is what I'm focusing on, and there's a lot of Super Nintendo. You can already see some. So here we go. Let's go with Game Boy Advance. We have Dragon Ball Z collectible card game. That one I believe is just box only. We have ESPN Final Round Golf 2002. Some of these are nothing too special. Backyard Basketball. And Codename Kids Next Door, Operation Soda. And then Game Boy Color, we have Nicktoons Racing, another box only. We have Powerpuff Girls Battle Hymn. That one just happens to be factory sealed. I would prefer to just have complete ones, but if I happen to get a sealed one, if we get one at the store and it's a game I don't have, I will add it to the collection with the intention of, potentially replacing it down the road with an opened copy. And then another sealed one, Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers. Even though these are Game Boy Color games and they're sealed, they're not very expensive. And then original Game Boy, we have Solitaire Fun Pack, Animaniacs, which is also box and manual only. We have a cartridge at the store, but the cartridge is like The label's kind of faded, so I'm just waiting for a better one. And then Tecmo Bowl. Let's move on to original DS, then we'll do Switch, and then 3DS, and then Super Nintendo to finish it off. So, we have Rune Factory 3, Trace Memory, Bang-I-O Spirits. We have a double pack here, My Amusement Park and Digging for Dinosaurs. Very, very cheap, but just a weird double pack I'd never seen. Princess Debut, Feel the Magic, 5D's Yu-Gi-Oh! Stardust Accelerator World Championship 2009, Jake Hunter Detective Chronicles, and Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. So a lot of like more obscure and kind of like a couple like rare games, I guess. As you guys know, I try to focus on one or two consoles at a time. Right now it is Super Nintendo primarily, and then a little bit of like 3DS. But if we get games in at the store that I've never seen before, never heard of, or ones that are just like, they seem to be like harder to find, if I don't have it, I will add it to the collection, and that is the case with these DS games, because I'm not focusing on that console, but, you know, I don't want to pass stuff up that it might be harder to find down the road. On to Nintendo Switch. We have some special edition games first. We have Trinity Trigger, Day 1 Edition. And a lot of these special editions, if you guys are interested in them, a lot of times we have them at the store. The only way that I get these really is when we order for the store, I just order an extra one for myself. So typically we have these available for sale as well. Then we have Hello Neighbor 2, the regular edition, and the deluxe edition. Don't know what the actual difference is. Maybe just like DLC, because they both have the little plushie. And then, of course, had to get the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. We did have these available at our store as well, which was very, very surprising. We were actually able to get 23 of them, I think, total, which is super cool. And then Kyle ordered 3. I think he got 2 from GameStop and like 1 from Best Buy or something. So everyone at the store that wanted one was able to get one, and we still had like 22 to sell. We did a 9 p.m. release, and it was super, super cool. Very happy that we were able to get that. The other one here is the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collector's Edition. I don't really like how they did this. I mean, this is awesome. This looks cool, nice big box and everything, but the game is not in this box. The game is separate. And the game also has a like plastic slipcover. I'll show you that. Actually, I'll just grab it right now because I can see it. Here it is. So this is the copy for the collector's edition. It's outside of the packaging, which I don't really like when they do that. I wish it was all just one thing, but still, it is cool. So let me clear that out of the way. And then the rest of the Switch games here. We have the Atari 50th collection anniversary, whatever it's called, Steelbook Edition. We have Fight Crab, the North American version, God of Rock, The Pathless, Blade Assault. You guys might recognize these if you watch the vlogs, because this whole stack here we just got in, these are all new releases. Spooky Spirit Shooting Gallery. And like I said, I always get one for myself as well. After Image Deluxe Edition. Then we have Super Mario Maker 2, but this includes a Nintendo Online membership, which is not in here. I don't know if it was a physical paper. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least a variant, so decided to add it to the collection. Blaster Master 03, Loop Hero, Olympia Soiree, I believe is what that word is. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud or ever read it in my life, but I think that's what it is. And then Danganronpa Decadence. I had the special edition, but not the regular one. Then we have Bustafellows, Caller X Malice Unlimited, Code Realize Future Blessings, Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth. Lots of like uncommon stuff in here. Pio Fior Faded Memories. Piofior Episodio 1926. Dairoku Agents of Sakuratani. Obviously, I can't pronounce them very well. Variable Barricade. Got that one. And then I have one other big stack here. We have Terra Trilogy. Advance Wars 1 and 2. I have played probably somewhere between 25 and 30 hours of this, and I really, really like it. I never played the originals, and people would always like go on about them saying how awesome they were. So when this came out, I was like, I'll give it a try, not thinking that I was going to really get too into it, but I already beat the first game, and I'm 15% through with the second one, I think. Obviously, my time now is taken up with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but I do plan on going back and finishing that second game. I'm really, really enjoying that one, way more than I thought I would. This is a download code one. This is Dark Thrones and Witch Hunter Double Pack. So sometimes they'll have these physical cases. It's got this thing across the top telling you that it's a download code. So there's no cartridge in here, it's just a little paper, but still kind of cool for the collection, and it is sealed, so it is, you know, unused. DNF Duel. Minecraft Legends Deluxe Edition. This is one that I definitely want to try out at some point. Norn 9 Var Commons. Grim Grimoire. Once More Deluxe Edition. Process of Elimination Deluxe Edition. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Another one that I plan on checking out. There's just a lot of games that kind of all released around the same time, and I'm the type of person that I kind of play one game at a time. I don't usually mix things up and like play this for an hour, then play that for an hour. I'm usually just playing one thing till I'm done, so other ones gotta wait. Hero Must Die Again. Root Film. Quest of Dungeons. This one I thought looked really cool as well. Looks like an old school Zelda style game. I'll definitely be checking that out at some point. This one is Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania Anniversary Edition. Turok. This is the classic edition. Comes with a metal like N64 cartridge, which is really cool. Carrion, whatever it is. Cafe Enchant. Hello Kitty Cruisers, which I've actually heard is pretty good. Oh man, this one is my favorite. My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure. Drive or hashtag Drive. Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection. Mud Runner, American Wilds. Transformers Battlegrounds. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Gata Protectors Cart of Darkness. Tropico 6. Remnant from the Ashes. Metroid Prime Remastered. Telluride 3. And Signalis. So that's it for the Switch games. Let me clear these out, and then we're going to go through the 3DS, and then we will finish off with Super Nintendo. So the 3DS and Wii U eShops shut down, and because of that, a lot of 3DS games are going up in value. I wasn't planning on focusing on 3DS, but I already had over half of the library, and I was like, if I wait, they're just going to get more expensive, so I might as well knock some off the list now when I can. We did a few game hunting road trips within the past couple months, and I was picking up 3DS games at most of the stores that had them. A lot of these games were $15 or less. Some of these were $5, a lot of them were $7.99, $9.99. So I'm very happy that I was able to add this giant stack to the collection. Some of these also came from our store as well, of course. We have Project X Zone 2. Lego Chima Laval's Journey. Beyblade Evolution. Planes. Real Heroes Firefighter 3D. Samurai Warriors Chronicles, even though on the case it says Chronicles Samurai Warriors. Disney's Magical World. Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack. Tenkai Knights Brave Battle, Harvest Moon 3D Tale of Two Towns, Harvest Moon 3D A New Beginning, Finding Nemo Escape to the Big Blue Special Edition, Happy Feet 2, Rabbids Travel in Time 3D, Top Trumps NBA All-Stars, Phineas and Ferb Quest for Cool Stuff. I remember that game for Wii U was very expensive for a while. Ridge Racer 3D, Lego Jurassic World, Imagine Fashion Life, Madagascar 3, and Frozen Olaf's Quest, The Smurfs, Scribblenauts Unmasked. A lot of these are stuck together because they had price tags on them, which I removed and left some sticky stuff behind. Rise of the Guardians, Pro Evolution Soccer 2011 3D with a cool lenticular cover, Lego Star Wars 3, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego The Hobbit, which I hate that it's Lego The Hobbit and not just Lego Hobbit, Lego Batman 3, Wipeout Create and Crash, Turbo Super Stunt Squad, another Wii U game that was very expensive, probably still is, Transformers Prime the game, Crush 3D, Big Hero 6, which is an awesome movie, The Adventures of Tintin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Danger of the Ooze, Lego Marvel Avengers, and Hotel Transylvania. So, couple good titles, but mostly just like cheaper stuff that I didn't have, and I was able to add to the collection for very cheap prices, which I'm happy about. So, we're going to finish off the video with the Super Nintendo games, and there are a lot. So, first up, I do have two manuals that I needed. I got the manual for Pinocchio and also the Super Aquatic Games. So I already have the boxes for these, just needed the manuals to complete them. So happy to find those. I have one big box game, and that is Mario Paint. This is the Player's Choice version. I do have the Black Label one as well, but you know, when I saw this, I was like, I gotta keep that. That's super cool. I think it's missing something. I can't remember. Okay, it's missing the styrofoam, the insert, and it's also missing the mouse pad. So the styrofoam is going to be difficult to replace, but the mouse pad not so much. I'll just wait for one to come in at the store. So, in no particular order, I'm going to go through the Super Nintendo games here. I did kind of stack the last stack in order from like maybe most common to like most rare or most expensive or coolest or whatever, but I have so many here that at some point I gave up, so let's just say that they're in no particular order. So we have Cutthroat Island, and every one of these should be complete. There might be one or two missing a manual just because I found it that way and I couldn't pass up the deal, but most of them should be complete. We have Art of Fighting, Shaq Fu. Was really surprised I didn't already have that one because it's one of the cheaper games to get complete. Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour, Acme Animation Factory, Pacific Theater of Operations 2, Rival Turf, Faceball 2000, Thunder Spirits, Battle Blaze, Troddlers, and Pit Fighter, another pretty cheap one to get complete. Second stack, excuse me, Mecha Robot Golf, Operation Logic Bomb, Space Football 1-on-1, and as you guys are probably noticing, a lot of like uncommon titles in here because I have most of the common stuff. I have most of like the rare games. There are still some, of course, I need, but mostly what I'm after right now are these like weird, obscure titles that you don't even really see loose copies of super often. So those are the ones I've been trying to track down because I think with what I have here, we are down to needing just over 200, like 214 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, 210, somewhere around there, but we're getting fairly close. So very, very happy. Next one is Mario Kart, but this is the Player's Choice version. I only had the Black Label one, and I am kind of going after the Player's Choice ones, but I'm not seeking them out. I'm just getting them as I find them. Another one is Donkey Kong Country, Player's Choice. Then we have The Tick and Time Cop. Warp Speed and Dragon, Bruce Lee story. Super Bases Loaded 3, License to Steal. Championship Soccer 94. I can feel there is no cartridge in here on that one. Kakoma Night in Busyland. This one also does not have a cartridge, but I found this at, I think, GameBound up in Kent, Washington. I think it was. And this one was a really, really good price, and the box is in really nice condition. That's one that I have been looking out for because I know that that game's already kind of hard to find, even loose. So I was glad to find it for the price I did. And we have Metal Combat. I think I might have a sealed copy of this in the collection. This one's very, very common to get complete, so I'm surprised that I didn't have it. It might have been on my list because I only had it sealed. I'm not sure. My light is blocking where it would be on the wall, so I can't look. Pinball Fantasies. I think I added Pinball Dreams in the last video or the one before that, so Pinball Fantasies there to add to that. Frogger, another one I'm surprised I did not have. This one is an eBay auction that I won, and I don't usually bid on a lot of auctions, but this was the only way to get this one because there weren't any others posted at the time, and I'm very happy that I did win, and that is Chavez 2, which is a boxing game, but this one has the plastic on it. Just cut open at the side there. The bottom is very sun faded though, which kind of sucks, but other than that, it's in really, really nice condition. And there's two games on the Super Nintendo, Chavez 1 and Chavez 2. They're both kind of hard to find, so glad that I got that one knocked off the list. Another one that's very hard to find is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. If you look at like the price charting listings, you'll see prices are kind of all over the place, but according to price charting, only like 2 of them sell a year complete, which means that they are very, very uncommon. I was able to use my eBay funds to pay for this, meaning like I sold some stuff on eBay, and instead of withdrawing the money to my bank account, I used some of it to buy the game. So I look at it as if I maybe spent like $5 on some stuff at the Goodwill outlet, sold it for $100, and then was able to get this with that money. So the price that I paid was a little bit higher than all the other sold listings on price charting, but it's in nice condition. They don't sell very often, and I didn't really spend that much on it, so I'm still happy. We have Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. Zool. Pretty uncommon one here. War 2410. Never even see this cartridge anywhere. And these are the more expensive titles here. Metal Marines. Very happy with these ones, and I kind of did the same thing with most of these. I just used my eBay funds to pay for them, which mostly just comes from stuff I get at Goodwill, so I'm trading up, you could say. Blazion, the Bio-Cyborg Challenge. Very, very uncommon Atlas title. This is another one where I don't even ever see the cartridge anywhere, so the complete one is that much harder to get, and I'm glad to knock it off the list. Phalanx, one of the best Super Nintendo cover arts of all time. You see that little ship right there? That's what the game's about. This guy has nothing to do with it. Last 2 here, we have Legend. And finally, if you guys saw the smashing open a WATA graded game video we did on the Double Jump channel, that was for this, and that is Ghoul Patrol, which is the sequel to Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Very, very happy to get this, and made for a fun video. So that is it for this pickup video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Since we always do a keyword here, let's go with metal, because we have Metal Marines and Metal Combat. So if you use the word metal in your comment, that'll tell me that you watched through the entire video. Make sure you didn't skip to the end, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.